Hi class, this is Dr. Karsten, and today I wanted to give you guys a quick video on using expanded form and the zero trick to multiply. So let's first really quickly review what the zero trick is. So let's say that I wanted to multiply. Let's start super duper easy. Let's just do 3 times 10. And all of you know that this is just plain old 30 because you know anything times 10, you add a 0 on. So you know that this is 30. What the zero trick would tell you is that you can do 3 times 1 is 3, so you multiply these numbers, and then you would add on this 0. And that's how we ended up with a 0 over here. The reason it works, just really quick, is because you're saying 3 times 1, 10, and for every time you do a 10, you add a 0. When you have hundreds, you add 2 zeros. We're not going to do that today. Today we are strictly doing the zero trick. It's a shortcut, and then we're going to use expanded form and multiply. So let's do another one. Let's get a little trickier. Haha. All right, so let's do 3 times 40. So let's do that really quick. So if I'm doing 3 times 40, I'm going to multiply 3 times 4, which is 12, and I'm going to add on a 0, and that's the zero trick. Let's try 3 times 700. So now we're going to get a little bigger. So let's do 3 times 700. So again, I'm going to now multiply my 3 and my 7, which is 21. 3 times 7 is 21. And I'm going to add on 2 zeros. And so I get 2,100. So let's change it up and let's use a couple other numbers with this. And let's just do a few more. So let's say that I was doing 8 times 40. So again, I'm going to multiply the 8 and the 4, and I get 32. And then I have 1 0, so I'm going to add that on. Let's say that I am doing 5 times, 5 times 900. So I'm going to multiply my 5 and my 9. 5 times 9 is 45. Now I have to add on those 2 zeros. And you can put that comma in. All right, and let's do one more. Let's do 2 times 7,000. So we're going really big here. Same thing though. I'm just going to take 2 times 7, which is 14, and I'm going to add on 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros, and I can put my comma in there. And I get 14,000. So that's the zero trick. So remember, we multiplied the two front numbers when we're doing this, and then we just tack on all those extra zeros on the end. And again, the reason this works is because I'm doing 2 times 7 thousands, which would just be 2 times 7 is 14 thousands, or 5 times 9 hundreds, so 45 hundreds, and hundreds means adds on 2 zeros. All right, so now let's talk about expanded form really quick. Let's start easy again, because it's a smart thing to do. So let's start with a number, let's do 27. So I have the number 27, and I want to write that in expanded form. What I want to do is I want to show the value of each of the digits in the number. So think about it as being place value. So what we know is that 7 is in the ones place, and I could write that ones. And we know that 2 is in the tens. So if 7 is in the ones, that means I have 7 ones, and if 2 is in the tens place, I have 2 tens. What's 2 tens? Well, you can count up by by tens. So 10, 20. So 10, 20. So this 2 is the same thing as 20. That's its value. And then 7 ones, which is just plain old 7. Remember the little cool trick that I've also taught you before is that when you want to know the value of anything in here, what you can do is you can bring down the number. So for example, 2, and then make everything to the right a 0. So that's another way to think about it. So you can either say, well, I know it's 2 tens because it's in the tens place, and 2 tens is 20, 10, 20. Or you could do it this way, where you bring down the number and you show the 2. Let's do another one just like this. So let's stay with nice small numbers. So let's do 58. So again, first you're going to tell me what is the value of the tens. We have 5 tens, which is 50, plus 8 ones. And again, I could have also said 5 with a 0 next to it for the value of that one. And let's try one more of these easier ones, 73. So 7 is in the tens, so that's 70, and 3 is in the ones. So that's expanded form for these numbers. So now let's go ahead and let's try some slightly larger numbers. So what about if I had 542? And I wanted to write that in expanded form. Again, I'm going to start here with my hundreds. I have 5 hundreds in the hundreds place. So we have ones, tens, hundreds, 500. And then I have 4 tens, which is 40. And again, you could do 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. And then to that, I'm going to add my 2 ones. So that's expanded form. All right, let's do one more enormous number. Let's go big, right? So let's do 3,630. Oh, that's going to be confusing. I take that back. Let me start that one clean. Let's do 3,618. So 3 is in the thousands place, so it's going to be 3,000. Right? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And again, remember that cool little trick? I'm going to do it in pencil. If I wanted to know, I could bring down that number, that's a 3, and make everything to the right a 0. That's a little secret thing. But anyway, so 3 is in the thousands, so 3,000. Plus, don't lose your pluses, 600. Plus 110, which is just plain old 10. Plus 8 ones. And that's expanded form for that number. So now you may be saying, well, how is that going to help me with multiplication? How am I going to use expanded form and the 0 trick? So let's again start easy. Let's start with we'll start with that 27 that we started with before. I thought that was a nice number. So let's just say that we are doing 27 times 3. So if it tells me to do 27 times 3. So, and you know what, I'm going to take that back because it would probably not tell you that. It would probably tell you to do 3 times 27 because that's how we've been doing it so far. So I'm going to take that back and I'm going to say 3 times 27. So if I wanted to do 3 times 27, the first step is to, first of all, don't lose your 3. So we're going to keep our 3, so our 3 times. But then we're going to turn 27 into expanded form. So step 1, turn that into expanded form. So it's going to be 20 plus 7. First I do the value of that 2, which is 20, plus the value in the ones, which is 7. So 3 times 20 plus 7. And now remember what we want to do. We called it the distributive property. Remember, if you had the job of paper distributor in the classroom, you would pass out the paper and you would give everybody a paper. Well, let's say I said you give everyone 3 papers and you're going to do it to 27 kids. You would have to hand out 3 papers 27 times. So you're going to pass this 3 papers out times 20 and you're also going to pass it out times 7. So remember, we've been doing this where we say, all right, well, we're going to first do the 3 times the 20. So let's go ahead and do that. And if I were to write that, I would write that as 3 times 20. And let's just kind of show that that's one thing that we're doing. And now after that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the 3 times the 7. And when I do the 3 times the 7, so I'm doing the 3 times. Remember, this is the 3 times part right there. I want to put that into parentheses also. But we have a problem. We are totally losing something. What are we losing? We're losing our plus. So I'm going to write that right in between. And now all you have left is the 0 trick to deal with. So let's go ahead and deal with this. So we're going to do each of these parentheses. We're going to do our parentheses on either side to start with. So 3 times 20, use your 0 trick, which is 3 times 2 is 6, and add on that 0, plus, and 3 times 7 is just 21. And now I can add those together. How would I do that? I would go ahead and I would stack them and add them to be really super safe. So I would say 60 plus 21, 1 and 0 is 1, 6 and 2 is 8. So I know that my answer is 81. So every row is a new step. So remember, the first thing we did was we wrote the 27 in expanded form. Then we distributed. We multiplied the 3 times the 20 and the 3 times the 7. And then we just had to use our zero trick, and then we had to add them together. So expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. Expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. Expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. Very, very easy. All right, so let's do another one of these, and we're just going to stick with this. I'm not going to go through explaining all the things. I'll do that at the end in case you're curious, that little other thing we did on the side in the classroom. But let's go ahead and let's do another one. All right, so here we go. Let's do 5 times, 62. Okay, so expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. So expanded form is the first part. So I'm going to keep my 5 times. I'm just going to go ahead and write that. But now I have to do 62, the bigger number, in expanded form. So again, it's just going to be 60 plus 2. So my tens, I have 60 plus 2. So that was the expanded form, right? Expanded form, distribute is the next thing. Remember, we're the paper distributors. We're passing it out. We're going to do 5 papers to each one of these groups of people. So we have 60 kids in one class, 2 in the other. So let's distribute it to there, and then we're going to do it to there. So we're going to do 5 times 60, 5 times 2. We split it up to make it easier. So 5 times 60, 5 times 2. So let's do it. So 5 times 60, we're going to write it. Remember, we want to show step by step. And 5 times 2. So I'm keeping this 5 times. And I have to do it now 5 times 2. What did we forget? Don't forget, don't forget. You can't lose that plus symbol. You still need to have it there. 60 plus 2, but now it's going to be 5 times 60 plus 5 times 2. All right, so expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. Here comes the zero trick, my friends. So 5 times 60. 5 times 6 is 30, and add on your 0. Plus 5 times 2 is just plain old 10. Expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. So to add, we're going to do 300 plus 10 is 310. Nice and easy. And we write that. Expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. All right, we did it. So that was 2 times through. If you are starting to feel like you are getting this, let's go for a challenge. We're going to go up to a 3-digit number. All right, so let's do 2 times, and now let's do 2 times, I don't know, let's do 2 times 345. Nice, easy number. So first step, expanded form. So we have to turn the larger number into expanded form without losing this. So don't lose your 2 times. And then we have to do expanded form. So what do we have in the hundreds? We have 3 hundreds. What do we have in the tens? 4 tens, which is 40. And then we have 5 ones. So that's expanded form. Check. Done. Expanded form, distribute. So I have to distribute this 2 to these 300, to those 40, and to that 5. All right, so we have to do all 3 steps there. I wonder if I have a better purple marker for us to use. Here, let's try this one. All right, so 2 times 300 is the first part. That's what we're doing first. Plus, don't lose that plus, 2 times 40. Plus, don't lose your plus, 2 times 5. So 2 times 300, 2 times 40, 2 times 5. So we're just splitting it up to make it easier. So here we go. 2, now we're, oh, sorry. Let me do it step by step. expanded form, distribute, zero trick. Let's do this. Let's multiply using our zero trick. 2 times 3 is 6, and add on the 2 zeros, plus 2 times 4 is 8, add on the 0, plus 2 times 5 is just plain old 10. All right, so expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. We have to add those three numbers, 600 plus 80 plus 10. So it'd be 600 plus 80 plus 10. So I have 0, 9, 6. So my answer is 690. We added. So expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. All right, so now if you are feeling awesome about this, stop the video. You're good. If, however, you would like to understand a little bit more about where some of this stuff is coming from, hang out. But again, if you are feeling awesome and you didn't feel awesome before, stop the video. Do not watch any further. All right, so this is the last little bit that I'm going to show you. I'm going to take us back to that original problem of 3 times 27. All right, so remember, 3 times 27. This was something that we did before, where we were kind of thinking to ourselves, like, well, what's 27? What are we doing here? Now, we all had the expanded form down. We all knew that we were going to do 3 times, you can't lose that, and then it was going to be 20 plus 7. And then remember, we kind of were talking about another way to think about this was to say that we were doing 27 or 20 plus 7, but we were doing it 3 times because we're doing it 3 times. So what is this? This is 3 times 20. It's 23 times. So it's 20 3 times. What's over here? 7 3 times, or 3 times 7. And that's another way of thinking about doing the distributing part, where you're saying it's 3 times 20 and 3 times 7. You can see it right there. So that was just that other little thing that we were doing to help us realize that when we're doing 27 3 times, or 20 plus 7 3 times, it's just 20 plus 7, 20 plus 7, 20 plus 7. So we did it 1, 2, 3 times. So really, what did we do? We did 3 times 20 here, and we did 3 times 7 over here. And then you could write it. So again, watch this. So expanded form, distribute. Here we go. So 3 times 20, which is the same thing as right there, plus, and now we have to distribute that 3. We're going to do 3 times the 7. Oh, how'd I do it too? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so expanded form, distribute, zero trick. 3 times 2 is 6, add on the 0. 3 times 7 is 21. So expanded form, distribute, zero trick, add. And now I just take 60 plus 21, and I would get 81. All right, my friends, so that was just that little extra thing that helped a lot of you guys to visualize this distributing. What we're doing and why we're doing it is that we could pull it all apart. So remember, one more thing. Here we go. 1, expanded form. 2, distribute. That just means pass it out. Remember, when you're the paper distributor in class, you pass out papers. I could tell you to give 1 paper, 2 papers, 3 papers, whatever it is I want. This is what I'm distributing right up here. Here we were distributing 3 times. So, expanded form, distribute, zero trick, which is just multiplying, add. And that's it. The things that I think you have to really be the most careful for is that when you do expanded form, that you don't lose your 3 times. That's really important. And that you don't lose these pluses when you're adding, when you're going down each step. Don't lose these pluses. They just kind of shift over, so don't lose them. And remember, if you have a 3-digit number, you're going to have 2 pluses, and you're going to have 3 sets of parentheses going on. All right, my friends. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in our Google Classroom. Have a great night.